ebusuafo ewo se mofa ebo kutu na modem ebo ebreme na you see analysis bi am ye wa ha no it is playing out now mubedi adanse sorry edubu ahin the case ebaaye mohwe MPP phone semu ade bia wo moka ani and the attorney general ka woni case and the attorney general woni case. And constantly I sat on my platform and I told you, say, listen, we share maintie MPP radio stations, maintie MPP TV stations, maintie po adomo tremo. Se mo ka say attorney general no wama remonacha ada no na edubo ahin wondi bone bia. Me ka tremo say wo read the court documents na. Obi a obe read the court documents a wo be ka say edubo ahin wondi bone, especially after reading witness statements. Edubu ahin nankasa driver statement ne nsemu a ekokoso na still wo si edubu ahin di bone bia de a na eno no wunim de eko. In fact court na betre say edubu ahin we di bone anase wundi bone, but to prosecution a document a epie ye ne de ye ni na ye nya bi kan ye no utumi ntina TV so nka say attorney general no ya dada no evidence a ode ba betu dwa physical evidence cars ne nyama evidence or the babetuja of bank statement transfers ni nyama no untumi nka se edubu ahin eni kwan se ana untumi nka se edubu ahin ye twa ntrato ne so, but for some reason MPP4 edinam ena no moka ma me katro se emre me sanso katre mo se embre bi bedu MPP4 be try se wo mo ka se judge na wo case ne so no oye biased because e bedu mre bi ye nina ye be hu ne se dabi se ne case ne kono ebu abomo ende ye drew some reno. Apparently, Edubu and his lawyer, Atta Akyea, akwa file with Supreme Court. Say judge what see Edubu and his case ni sono or ye biased. Na say MPP for mujidi say mu case no send ya air kono ebe vindicate mo. Send ya muni na moka. Say Raymond Acha wo chantro. Send ya muni na moka. Say Dominic Aini onim de worker, especially with Edubu and his case no, and they ban say na mo akwa file ewo Supreme Court say judge na what case ni so no oye bias tiende Edubu and ne lawyer Atta Akyea ewo ke out of court. Just say court proceedings say koso no or walk out of court because ade bia wo pese judge ni yema no judge ni yema no. Now asem the baby a free baby a dia babedu and a baby at the last report a year wo case ni so no de bebremo, and then we will read also the current report DNTia and Atta Akyea a walk out of court. And then your first time subscribe na click the notification bell on this. We hear the latest news be about on sa ebeka na ansa ne yebeto aso no mesere se wo tie me na wefu eso ana wo odihie bi anefu so a mesere the best thing you can do for yourself and for that person and say I was say usua de obeya the shortest possible time ebema wefu no akofom na book na that screen so no me recommend ama ebe kire onyama miensa your friend the WWE method utumi use sa nyama miensa na less than 1 month you see how your stomach will drastically reduce ebe you say magic omo to book ni bi edi adanse upe book ni bi ato a 055-807-4986 free and our WhatsApp number no na yema book ni PDF and an tree video. Now so the story baby Edru any baby a ecosisia the prosecution opese o show wo court say na asem ye denti no o printe bank account because Edubu ahin no na oye juma wa national security, a branch of national security, right? Into the prosecution no a printe bank account of embra na Edubu ahin oye juma wo hono oye pinyi e wo hono. The prosecution a printe bank account Emma or the account evidence on our courts our they say bank account records say ni because you say trace Edubu ahin wa bokro no na hona Edubu ahin lawyer eka said dabi say your bank account now be printed their men printed Edubu ahin de nepe kona koko print free 19 kujo ho de bra adenti na wo print just edubu ahene time a no ye panyin wo ho ko print de ba e na Attorney General de a wo kan se benyansa anim e ye edubu ahene ye try no ne ye pese ye trese wabokro no a ye pese ye trese wabo ne ye pese ye trese oyusu eye bank account ni bi e no de bokro no inti say ye show ono ne time ni ya trese wabokro no ade nja na beka train say yenko print de embra tetefo no one is on trial inti ene no eye irrelevant but edubu ahin team they said abi and at a point it felt like they were just trying to delay because I've told you say there are cases in court sometimes lawyers be catro so mo hwana say case no equate omo and mo hwana say case no be lose what they do is they delay lawyers names adi it clearly no it looked like say the plan was to delay the case try as much as possible to delay the case it's a hwana judge na oti asem no so ka say dabi we nyan say nim ye bo edubu ahemu nsem egu eye momo time no ene ye deba edubu ahene ne lawyer they have been on the case say ane omo ye ko print titede ne ba ene na be mo case ayede nti se judge no ibu egu dia na se judge no be so mo case be yede yesi ebu obi di ono ne evidence ne ba no ene na ebe ma wo case ayede na de wo ba no wo afa wo evidence amba obi dia ono de ba na ebe ma wo case ayede e de na okay nti omo ye say omo file extra proceedings even out of the court inti or the assembly be call appeals court or the call appeals court no asanso aba be file stay of proceedings naturally say oh assembly yen kan we inti the latest one no before we eba ne say omo kwa appeal decision no na decision no okwa appeal ye no wasanso file for stay of proceedings na stay of proceedings nature say yenya trial na ekoso no and clearly no wo hwe Atta Akyea senior wa attack case we are it's like he wants to attack the ongoing trial enti edubu ahene trial na ekoso no yenya ni endili with case na judge no e ruling on the data no yendili with the appeal case stay of proceedings no so olusu ye judge ne ka said abi eye proceedings no ebe continue inti trial no ekoso etoaso na the latest one ende the drama aba and say apparently Endrechi Atta Akyea akwa file e Supreme Court say judge na what case ne so no biased the enti a omo filings a omo filing ni na no judge ne pese obedi amomo inti judge na what case ne so biased judge ne biased judge ne pese o ya na echi edubu an etum inti akwa file wo Supreme Court say no hunti ye ma judge no case we no onyai inti omo ba ya case na etu aso no ono ne dia wo kan say wakwa file wo Supreme Court say na nka judge no ye ma case ni njai inti no judge ni ntwen na Supreme Court infa ruling na nya dai emra ansa na watua case ni so na judge say da bi enya ne saa Matina Ghana kurum ha mehu cases bebre wo ho case me koso emi akwa file wo Supreme Court na so still case ni continue the Supreme Court didn't ruling ba wo de aba but as far as a Supreme Court enfa ruling in by no ye continue case no it's not as a Supreme Court the ruling ne beba next 5 years I hope say case ni ye jai to for next 5 years yan pene ti judge ne say wo continue ti judge na free witness aba betena witness box mo a ye be continue case no Atta Akyea buefu o say judge o court had the mean na ha me free her judge ne say hey, you don't have a right to leave sit here Atta Akyea dwa we pay free court omo a before got na we and the edubu ahin case no NDC nya hwe and the Attorney General nya hwe onya hwe and dem udwa na free court no and dem mo say judge bias mo see ati krom ha mo de mo behu na Me say from the time Edubuahin shas yes say all my warning. Ane endie so mo nja case na obesha say wo bubu din endie okobo bosia me say bosia or the sikani bi sika no musi we have 49 million Ghana cedis no or the kotor cars no the ko chair NDC for the clear campaign embra work cars and 7 million na because we omun nimpa say case ni do court o man so be shinti no yenye ne yenka yenkeke bi and there's one we be ababedu and the paduma trimu ye omo analysis in the Edubuahin nya bone Edubuahin di bone and them mo amosi mu ndi bone na mo accuse say judge or ye biased and then the MPP from say judge ye biased. We sat in this country and we're telling you say judges be yes say judge mo ka say judges no omo nya biased bia and then the man say na judge no ye biased. On the drama in court as lawyers of Edubuahin stage walkouts. That is the story. Now, my main can yes some parts of the story and tremo. Now, ubianti. Now, let me enlarge it so you can see on your screen. I'll say drama unfolded in the High Court in Accra on Thursday afternoon, October 23, 2025, when lawyers for the former Director General of the National Signals Bureau, Kwabena Edubuahin, led by Atta Akyea, staged a walkout during court proceedings. This was after the court, presided over by Justice John Eugene Nyante Nyadu, had declined their request to adjourn proceedings to abide by a motion filed at the Supreme Court on October 22nd to prohibit the trial judge on grounds of alleged bias. As the moments after the court had held that the proceedings of the day would proceed with the second prosecution witness mounting the witness box, Atta Akyea sought leave to leave. The court did not grant his request to leave and insisted that proceedings continue with the witness testifying. It's Atta Akyea ekatre judge say opeso opie judge say woman kwan. Also the defense lawyer said they had other engagements and left the courtroom while the second witness proceeded to sit in the witness box. It's Atta Akyea say no the old baby call. Oh baby call into on na court. Obia anyone say bra be defend you we no. O say oh baby call into on na court until we pay. And bra judge you know, and this is even I don't know whether this can amount to contempt. I don't know, but it's up to the judge. Because you asked for the judge to leave and the judge said no. But still also oh baby call. That is a court on motina na kra na sebe e yengo yasem no mudi wo nti no wa sorry call. Also let the records reflect. So this is the judge speaking. Let the records reflect that counsel for the accused / applicants have abandoned the proceedings of the High Court consequent to the ruling of the court, the judge stated. Atta Akyea, lead counsel for the accused persons, had told the court that yesterday, Wednesday, October 22nd, we filed a process at the Supreme Court by way of an application for prohibition of the judge. Atta Akyea asema okatre judge ne say ya file application with Supreme Court oh no ye pesi you free case ne so because I say ye biased do. I say in the circumstances he prayed for the proceedings on Thursday October 23rd to be adjourned to abide by the outcome of the Supreme Court case. Intino obese ata case na yekoso trial case na yekoso sisiano judge no entwentwen so na Supreme Court in the case ni wie enti na make say take 5 years say Supreme Court be the case ni kra wie kra na obese Supreme Court the case ni wie ansa no mobile case we so. As the state prosecutors led by AC Denta Yanka, a principal state attorney, kicked against the prayer and said the mere filing of the application did not automatically warrant an adjournment. An adjournment, right? As the copious arguments were made forth and back by all parties, with each buttressing their position with authorities. Into no here, state prosecutor, no not say even the Attorney General can one court. Into state prosecutor and the court, and a state prosecutor and the court no. As some can so what file case of Supreme Court and then say I was seeing ye jai way. State prosecutor some kind of no. As the ruling on the application, the court said on the application for adjournment of proceedings, consequent to the pendency of an application for a motion prohibiting me from further hearing the case, counsel for the accused persons has drawn my attention to the Supreme Court decision, wherein the Supreme Court, in trying to establish bias of the judge in the issue of that case, among other cases, stated that the said application for oral application for an adjournment to abide by the outcome of the motion for prohibition. Now, Oyena Ochiaso say, I have also chanced upon a circular decision by the Supreme Court titled The Republic versus Fast Track High Court, Accra, ex parte Gary Daniel, reported in 2003/4 SCGLR, where the same Supreme Court has categorically stated that the pendency of an application for prohibition against the trial court does not automatically operate to stay proceedings in the court whose proceedings are being challenged. It's a judge then someone what can say, oh, what you imagine about case be so? Say what the Masem Ako Supreme Court send and can sem no yembo mingu, no problem. And I person met in that case ni so, no problem. Person prohibit me, no problem. And then the problem in you. In fact, me judge ne krano. Me near about decision be so a year Supreme Court decision a course in 2003 and 2004. A case be koko pie was Supreme Court anymore. Supreme Court na decided say case fufro koso e wo yemfa ne say High Court. Na ye the case no eba Supreme Court. Say a judge no ye pese ye prohibit no. Ye beso betina case ne subioma. And then interest say ye the aba Supreme Court inti judge na odi case no High Court no unja case ni did abi. Judge no betumi a continue say odi case no until say Supreme Court decision ne be den ebeba. Inti judge Linson Sema Walker Atta Akyea. And I've told you in this country, say Supreme Court and a court Emma ruling, it is as good as Emra. It was considering the fact that this earlier decision of the Supreme Court was not distinguished in the exportic Kennedy Japan case. There appear to be two conflicting Supreme Court decisions on what the position is when a motion for prohibition is filed or brought against the trial courts. Now, there's also another case, a Kennedy Japan case, say, and also Supreme Court a different decision, right? It's not just say for me, I think say a year two, right? At this point, and maybe the judge will try to or would use his own discretion or whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, and I'm same way soon and Atta Akyea a walk it out, our parliament, parliament, sorry, or walk it out of court. I was a once in a court and had the air cost because the intia and I was a judge no or yes sir. I told you, say CBC. I told you, say there will be a point where now a do baby a better delay, yen delay, the a bit delay case no. Yen delay because as long as we are delaying the case, there will be no ruling. Now say ruling and bar. A do boy to me and the trade him. So I feel like that's their strategy. Now, as someone American say, Obi Anamo say Attorney General, only case 88 Dubois here no. And the Indian strategy we know we use. What try why you go box the movie that's it.